Welcome to the RFU Champions Trophy second round, Hurstpierpoint College versus Uppingham School in the little nest of the Sussex countryside here. We're a bit overcast, but we're raring to go with the sun sneaking through the little clouds every now and again. And it's exceptionally good news today that I am pleased to welcome alongside me the man from 15 Rugby himself, Mr. Angus Savage. Angus, what do you reckon?
See you, Jacko. Yeah, really excited about this one. We've had a good week of Champions Trophy action, and this is going to be a cracking finish to the week's action, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, results so far, I've picked up some of them. You're the guru. What have we had so far?
You put me on the spot right there. 7 sides through, so quarterfinals next. Yesterday we had Rugby School dominating, cracking game against RGS Guildford, 45-0. They're certainly looking like one of the favourites in their early stages of this tournament. Champions Wellington College are through. Dulwich College went through as well, former champions themselves. Alongside them, we've had Hampton through yesterday. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone somewhere, but 7 sides through, and one more to come today. Excellent stuff.
So this is the last of the fixtures in this round 2. We started off with, I'll say 32, but there was 20, a few buys, but there we go. And coming into here now, so the next one's the quarters. So if there's no, if you can't watch the World Cup because there's a hurricane around or a typhoon, then this is the place to be. Come and catch up with us here. So let's run through the 2 teams to start off with, and we'll just get them up. And Angus, what do you know about these before I just put them on the screen here?
Two cracking teams. They've Uppingham have had their best start to the season actually. For probably a decade, they beat Oakham for the first time since 2009, and they're off to an absolutely cracking start. Hurst have had a bit more of a struggle to start off with, but their circuit is seriously tough. But they've got a real reputation in this tournament, having joined it last year and reached semi-finals. So I think they're going to be bang up for this one.
Now, it's difficult, but obviously one of the big things, all the schools can't play each other. It goes without saying. So difficult to gauge, you know, Uppingham from up in the Midlands, Hurst down here, like you're saying, playing in that southeast, which, you know, we all southeast centric as we are down here, saying it's bigger, harder and everything else. But, you know, it makes a difference.
Massive difference, and that's really why the RFU brought this tournament in. It was to try and give a lot of teams an opportunity to play against sides that they wouldn't normally do, which is why you get a lot of teams entering this rather than some of the other tournaments.
Right, let me quickly run you through the Hurst team today. 1, Cameron Sturgeon. 2, Jamie Phillips. 3, Archie Curry. 4, Daniel Crook. 5, Henry Duffield. 6, Ralph Levers. 7, Chris Preen. 8, Chris Falzon. 9, Sam Hall. 10, Lorcan O'Byrne-Nesta. 11, Matthew Bridger. 12, Alex Slater. 13, Rory Adams. 14, Chris Anson. 15, Frederick Longley, and Jack Douglas Smith, Andrew Federa and Thomas Wharton make up the bench. And for Uppingham, Carlson White wears 1, 2 is Sam Westmacott, 3 is William Owens, 4 Angus Duff, 5 Henry Robinson, 6 Angus Jackson, 7 Christian Totti, 8 James Chalk, 9 Harrison Casey, 10 Charlie Richardson, 11 Ethan Hodgson, 12 Pip Jackson, 13 Ethan Heath Jury, 14 Henry Hunt, 15 Archie Hogan, and George Perkins, Barney Plant and William Meadows make up the bench. And our referee today is Mr. Phil Bowers from the Sussex Society, and we are just about to kick off the last fixture in the Champions Trophy. And here's hoping, Angus, for a good one.
Yeah, I hope so. Certainly all set for it.
So Uppingham, all in white to the left, are getting things underway. Hurst picking up early, trying to run straight out, and what we got there? We got a what signal is that, Mr. Bow? High tackle, high tackle.
All the rage nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, well, everybody's on that straight away, so it's
up the Eagles.
To be aware of. And does he find touch? Oh, just finds touch. No dive in there to put it back in like we saw at the World Cup the other day. So Hurst's first line out, the first line out of the day. Jamie Phillips is going to be throwing in. Trying to hit the front of the line, missed him, but picked up tight in the middle there. Quick recycling. Just playing the channels. And through the hands. Lorcan O'Byrne Nesta there, really looking to get these backs going. Fraser Falkin, the captain there, hitting it up through the middle. Hurst into Uppingham's territory for the first time in the game. They're going to go out through the hands. There's a gap there, there's a big dog leg, they saw it, and that's Frederick Longley found the gap. Matthew Bridger trying to push it in now. Hurst got to recycle this, they should have numbers. But they've done well slowing that ball down. Not rolling away is the penalty there.
Uppingham will be quite happy giving away that penalty. They're under real pressure there. Harrison Casey doing an absolutely brilliant job of wrapping that ball up on the defensive track. Absolutely fantastic play.
You see there, I mean, they initially did well to slow the ball down, but Phil Bowles was having none of it. I think he signalled that hands in the ruck.
Yeah, I think number 7 there, Christian Totti, got himself over the ball. Fair enough penalty. Hurst will be happy with that start.
Yeah, then you got the pressure, home team, crowd's kind of filling out there. And so Sam Hall looking to get Hurst rolling. It's a pick up there, 12 levers. Once again, it's slow ball. Uppingham done well slowing it down. Hurst just regather the troops. Just a metre from the line. They fancy this. Uppingham's excellent defence by Uppingham there. Look at them, they're just right on the edge there. They're pushing them back all the time. Hurst doing well recycling. Well through there, Carson White. Not bad for a music pianist. Came through there with big hands and he got there still just inches short. Still trying to just keep it there. And this is exceptional defence from Uppingham.
Tackle release.
Can recycle again. And it's over. And the man in there.
You could see that coming, couldn't you? The pressure was building and building and building. Matter of time before they got over the line, but well held out to start off with.
Henry Duffield was the man there. That was reminiscent of like a Wales defence there, very resilient, keeping them out all the time, and looked like they were going to go wide here. You can just see that, just pushing him over, and in fact they held him up, and then he just rolled off the side of the man.
Yeah, it was an important score. That, you know, if you're going to put pressure on like that, you've got to come away with the points. Otherwise, it's such a huge energy lift for the defending side. So Hurst will be really happy to have come away with the points there. You've got to think as well, actually, with that sort of pressure coming through, that's the sort of thing that they can build on for the rest of the game and really get the power coming through. All came, though, from that early break down the left-hand side. Searing gas followed by the power. It's showing good balance to their game early on.
So that's the maybe that's the footprint how they're going to be playing this game. You know, just keep it. It was just nice and tight in that channel, Angus, wasn't it? They just kept it tight and just like, you know, had faith in those forwards.
Yeah, exactly. They're just real patience there. You know, these kids are 16, 17, 18, and that sort of patience. Not everyone's got it. Really impressive stuff.
And it's well trained, well disciplined, and you see this all the time in schoolboy rugby. It's a very disciplined game. They're coached very well.
Coached unbelievably well, and you've got to sort of look at this over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. There's been a real shift in coaching attitudes in school rugby and really letting the players make decisions for themselves. And actually, it's reflected in the way they play. They are calm under pressure because they actually practice this nowadays. Back in my day, it was just all rucking. There was nothing else.
Yeah, it's slightly different, but you know, you also had a rather heavy ball in your days. It was, you know, made of some type of animals in, as I expect. You know,
I'm not that old.
Okay, Uppingham, their first chance in the Hurst half with the ball, but Hurst really up quickly there. Angus Duff just pushed straight back there. He couldn't get through. And look at that nice straight line from Hurst. No dog legs in there at the moment. So Uppingham fancy it through the hands.
Hands away, Ray. Hands away.
Harrison Casey is dominating. That's hands in the ruck there from Hurst. So Phil Bowers, both teams been penalised for playing on the ball, playing on the ground.
Not 10.
So they've got advantage here. Hurst not 10 for the first tackle.
Advantage to White.
Still playing the advantage. William Owens sits down here, gentle giant off the pitch. Well, that wasn't giant, that was striding through there. Lumo clocking the...
Advantage is over.
And they're through on the side, and he's through. And Uppingham, they just seem to like creep round the edge as if they weren't going anywhere.
That was amazing try there. All from the fast tap on the halfway line for the penalty. And then it's just, again, a bit like the Hurst play. It's just a couple of good bits of phase play and then just accelerating away down the left. That's brilliant, brilliant scoring.
Here we see it again. Once again, William Owens, the gentle giant, ploughing through there. And he wasn't held, and so he took it up again.
You're right on the edge here.
And then Harrison Casey.
Thank you.
These are good hands, good hands, good hands. That's excellent from James Chalk, and that's Pip Jackson. Look at that, Leicester cricketer, medium fast bowler. Well, he's not that's quite a delivery himself there down there. He'll be well pleased with that.
Clearly talented in all sorts of fields, isn't he?
Yeah, good, you.
So right out on the touchline, on the 22. This is going to be a difficult. They don't want to trip over the Hurst Sport Toblerone. We even it up within the first 7 minutes. Looking good. Have we got it? No, just wide there. So it stays 7-5 to Hurst. So Hurst are got to answer back, Angus.
Yeah, I mean, what start to the game? Two tries in the opening 10 minutes. Two really well worked scores. Hangs this game in the balance nicely. You've got to think the pattern of that early on. We're going to be seeing more and more of it. Both teams clearly ambitious to get the game going fast and move it wide. So we could be in for a cracker here.
Yeah, if we go on with that, we'll be about 45 all by the end of the game if we carry on at this rate. So Carson White again with those piano fingers taking the ball up. And you can just see there, just a little like the Hurst line, just breaking up a bit, a couple of dog legs there, and Uppingham took advantage of it. Charlie Richardson is really like, you know, commanding that line really well there at the moment, the fly off for Uppingham.
Inverted lock as well, who would have thought?
Well, as a previous lock myself, Angus, I like to think we're multi-talented. Remember, we're all players, it's not forwards and backs these days.
No such thing as low numbers anymore.
Exactly.
First man legal.
And it's a penalty to Hurst, off his feet.
First man.
The first man was holding on, not releasing. So it's chance for Hurst to put the ball back up in Uppingham's corner, line out and get some pressure.
You've got to think, based on what they've done so far, they're going to try and have a look wide here.
Yep.
They had success down that left-hand channel early on. If they can get it through the hands early doors, they might fancy another go down there.
Yeah, you can see there the first man in, got his hands on the ball there and tried to pull it through as Hurst were all over that ruck.
Have you in?
Hurst just gone off for a little chat. Now they're back and plucked out by James Chalk, but not as clean as they would have liked, and so this is now slow ball, and Uppingham have gained another 10 yards and pushed them back.
Back feet here, boys. Back feet here.
So Hurst, once again, this is how they're doing it, just steady. A little chop through there from Lucas Lorcan. And he didn't quite find his man, but once again, it's good pressure from Hurst. And he's had to take that out. So, Angus, they're keeping them in that corner. I mean, that's what it's all about at the moment.
Yeah, if you can get the pressure on and keep side packed down, then it's pretty hard to get out of there. Especially as we've got a bit of a breeze blowing. We can certainly hear it flying across the pitch. So if you can get in that corner, you can stay there for a long time.
Hold. He's legal.
Angus Duff off the top. Uppingham come again. Charlie Richardson there, taking up in there, and he's working well. Him and Harrison Casey are really working well as a unit there. It's what you'd expect, but it's nice when it all comes together. There's Harrison again. And it is Charlie Richardson pushing it through. Charlie Richardson's got great pedigree. He's dad and uncle, both Scotland caps. Hurst again.
Knock on by 14 wide.
Rory Adams recycling it for Hurst.
Okay. Use it.
Chance for Sam Halter. He's leaving it to the forwards, letting them get on with it. Push him. O'Byrne, Nesta back out. Chance to release those backs. But it's up through that channel again, look, Angus.
Yeah, they seem to be having a bit of success with this, don't they? Just a few little short bursts around the fringes and getting a bit of success. Made about 10 or 15 yards off this couple of phases.
And this is like you were saying, over the last 4 or 5 years, you know, you've noticed at schoolboy rugby the coaching's changed, and it's more this patience game that they can play more. And, you know, it's coming down, you know, we got the, everybody must play a half and everything else, you know, RFU, you know, kind of like procedures they got to follow. And the game itself is opening up more. Do you think now with the, like you say, with us it was just rucks and mauls, no real clear plan?
Yeah, well, I think everyone's trusted to back their own skills. Yeah, across the board, but also your position-specific skills. And what you see there is a lot of players that do a lot of training with their academies, their counties, and with the school themselves. And they learn about the structures of play, but also from that structure how to be a bit more expansive. So you'll see guys are ready to go into contact, but they're also quite happy to just pop it out the back and back their own skills.
Yeah, like you say, everybody's got to be an all-round player now. And we were chatting to Stasha Long the other week, and she was saying that she was with Carl Sinclair, and they were saying there are no props, there are no forwards and that anymore. You know, that's the job. But when it comes on the pitch, and that's why they've got to have these good handling skills all round, as we've always seen the Southern Hemisphere seem to be able to peak at that. But now this Hurst line-out ball just outside Uppingham's 22. So it's dropped. So that's a knock-on by Hurst. They won't be very pleased with that. That's good. Good position on the pitch there, wasted.
It's the sort of thing that can really shift momentum in a game when these things happen. That's a great attacking platform, and Uppingham will get a real lift off having that ball back.
Yeah, and that's a catcher there that, you know, just binding on and then drop the ball. Can't blame the jumper.
Stay bound back row.
Uppingham coming away again.
No issue.
Oh, nice hands there. I think that was Charlie Richardson again.
Play on, play on.
And Hurst have spoiled it. They've turned it over. So Hurst, where they should have been in that line just a minute ago, are back in the on the Uppingham 22. Oh, nice hand out there. That was great, picked up by Chris Preen. He's a Queen's under-17 player. And there we go, they're going through the hands, going wide, and out there is that Matthew Bridget couldn't quite take that home, and it's a turnover to Uppingham.
Unlikely to get any
Oh, it was a golden chance, wasn't it? Golden chance.
Here we go, came through the hands, and this was a good miss pass there, but Bridger just unfortunately didn't have the hands for it. We see again, and it was Ralph Liebers with the miss pass, which was, there we go, look at that, not bad for a flanker.
Oh, he just had the white line on his eyes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Knew it was coming.
So Uppingham bring it out there, 22. Well played there, Pip Jackson again, nice and solid. Oh, that's a nice hit.
Ball's gone, you, number 10, ball's gone.
That was Alex Slater coming through there. And Charlie Richardson knew all about that.
We're feeling that tomorrow, that's for sure.
Vantage offside, this man.
That's 7 for Chris Preen, offside, Hurst there.
You're going to run everything from everywhere? Sorry? You're going to run everything from everywhere? Why not?
So they go. So Uppingham going for touch, just moving up to the halfway line. And that's a pretty good return from that, just on the Hurst 10.
We saw what they did last time for this sort of field position last time, so could be a good attacking platform, this one.
Yeah, they're probably going to take it in close tight twice and then out to the backs. That was last time, so let's see how they do it now. They've gone wide straight away. Charlie Richardson. He's obviously over that knock. Good hands there from Uppingham.
And away, no hands.
Uppingham like it to go wide.
Line speed from Hurstpierpoint is unbelievable here. Absolutely flying up.
And it's nice and straight as well doing it. It's going to get him in the touch. No, that's a great play there by Henry Hunt of Uppingham, keeping that ball in play, but that's going to be ripped off there.
Tackle, release, what, red?
That's well played there. Sam Westmacott nearly had it plucked out from him. He held on, got the ground.
No
Hurst had to
hands,
release. Uppingham like this pressure. They're going to be happy with that. They've got to get it back. Stuck in there. That ball's not coming out.
Leave his head.
Carlos White all tied up with that. James Chalk. Nice little break, nice little hands.
First man legal, play.
I think this is good pressure from Uppingham.
Turned over there. I would have quite liked to see them use the boot a little bit there. There was a lot of space in the backfield, but they just wanted to get it through the hands. They've been turned over. It's a bit of a shame that for them.
Yeah, that was good pressure here, and so Sam Hall is going to put Uppingham back in their own half.
Let him run.
Collected nicely there, put back with a bit of interest by Archie Hogan, and he's followed that up well. Oh, and he followed that up well and got the ball back after a couple of knock-ons. So the advantage with Uppingham.
Counter ruck from Hurstpierpoint is unbelievable in this. That's 2 or 3 where they've had a real impact on Uppingham's quality of ball. The only real solution for Uppingham you can see at the moment is to get a couple of players in there earlier and probably an extra body, but it's some seriously good work on the breakdown, targeting what they can smash over.
Yeah, they're not slow off the mark, are they?
No, absolutely flying up. It's really impressive line speed. See how the fitness holds up to go through the whole 70 minutes, but you suspect they've probably got it.
Set.
So Uppingham just outside Hurst 22. Harrison Casey bringing these backs into play straight away. And they fancy it out there. It's a try scorer, Henry Hunt. No, he wasn't the try scorer, was it? Taking it away from Pip Jackson there.
Right, 2 things. Number 8. You start rolling the ball back in the ruck with your hand. Basically, that's playing the ball. Okay, so. And secondly, somebody's rolling their ball.
Great move there, Henry Hunt.
In the scrum.
Last man to go, but just that was a bit of a forward pass, and then Ethan Hodgson, Gas as he is known, couldn't gather that in and make more of it. So Hurst have another chance to clear up.
Crouch.
Fancy they might run it from here.
Fine.
Well,
set.
Let's see if you're right, Angus. Well, he's not going to be
on.
running it from there. I suppose that assumption was based on them getting clean ball.
I can't be wrong if they're never allowed to do it.
That's a sign of a good analyst. So it's charged down, but Hurst picked it up.
Not held, play on.
It's good hands by Hurst. Oh, interception. And Henry Hunt is over, and Uppingham are back. Back, they're in front, and that's a nice one from Henry.
Oh, that's a killer for the home side, but that's sharp play from Henry Hunt. Spotted it early and just charged across to go and get it. Brilliant work from him. It's a real theme of the school game, actually. The sort of charge for interceptions. It's effectively it's a 14-point play a lot of the time, and it's really coached heavily now that if you think it's on, go for it. Allow your mates to go and cover behind. You go for the ball.
Especially when you're deep in the opposition half, because you know you're not going to miss anything, and you know you're just going to give away probably a penalty, but not a yellow card because you're not stopping anything.
Yeah, exactly. Very few referees are going to think it's a try-scoring opportunity for the side that was in possession from inside their own 22.
And this is Sam Westacott, the hooker, is going to be. I told you, there's nobody plays in their positions anymore. You don't have to have full-backs or fly-halves kicking. There's a hooker kicking. Good for him, Sam Westacott. Tigers Academy recently moved to hooker, so maybe he was fly-half before.
Good news for all forwards, because they all spend their time in the warm-ups practicing their place kicks and their drop goals and all the rest of it. It's good to see one finally getting a chance in a game.
Exactly, and I did a bit of kicking for a while as lock, but it didn't last for long.
We've all had a go.
So 20 minutes gone, we're just coming up to just past halfway, and Uppingham are leading 12-7 here at Hurst. These great surroundings here, you can see that in that picture there. The chapel in the background, it's a great location, great ground, and that's a knock on, and that's going to be coming back.
Went forward. Didn't hit the ground, but it had gone forward already. All right.
See there, they're just a bit eager through the hands here. Just got a bit close to him, get in front, and that was where they had the forward pass earlier in there. They're right up, and they're taking the ball right on the line.
It's that Hurstpierpoint line speed again. It's really aggressive, really impressive work. And you get into a team's face like that, and the passes are going to be inch perfect to get through it.
Yeah, you've got to be dead flat and up there. So here's Hurst again. Nice work there. Fred Longley taking it up. And now we're going back to the forwards, and Hurst, this is Hurst's kind of meat and drink. It's just up nice, just wide of the channels all the time, being fed by 9. Look, he's wants them round again, but the forwards are happy with this, taking it back, and they can see those little gaps around. Chris Preen doing the same again. It's getting close. There's no need to release the backs as yet. No, they've got numbers out wide there. But Hurst out, the forwards are happy to take it. They can see the white of the line, and holding on, not releasing. Hurst.
I think that's Christian Totti over the ball. It's unbelievable work from the flanker if it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think, 7. We just see it again, you see how he just came over the top of it.
Brilliant work to get in there. There was a split second between having the ball and not.
That extra roll got him isolated. Stay 10, yeah? He'll lead you.
So there's a lot of nearly here from Hurst and Uppingham. Those last little final bits, those last little details aren't quite clicking, but Uppingham now trying to get out there just outside their 22. Oh, and Casey's not going to be out with that, so can Hurst build on this? They've got the advantage, they can try something. Chris Hansen taking it up there for them. I think this is going to be their advantage over.
Advantage is over.
There we go, advantage is over. They fancy this, they got the numbers outside, they just can't get it through the hands. This is exceptionally good defence by Uppingham.
Right, leave it, Stephen, leave it. Yeah.
It's now settled. Uppingham have turned it over. But
That was a ruck. It was still in it. I asked you to leave it twice. You still picked it up.
You've got to listen to the referee in those situations. He's telling them to leave it alone, and they're still competing. It's understandable. They're under pressure, but you've got to leave that alone when you hear the call coming in. He's got to have his mates behind him shouting at him as well.
Defensive set, come on! We need to win this, boys. Let's win this. Pressure!
Just a bit late on. You just left it alone, we were carried on. I'd have managed you.
So this is Hurst now on the 5 metre line of Uppingham. The line out, if they can see the flags flowing in the background now. This is the wind's at Uppingham's back, so the advantage should be with Hurst in the second half. But at the moment, Hurst need to get back into this game. They're 5 points behind. Are they going to bring it in and let their forwards do the damage again? This one they've picked up. They haven't dropped it. Settled it at the back. Can they get it moving? Uppingham have done really well to stop that. And they're marching through the middle here. And it's looking good. If they can get the ball to the back and keep that moving. Ball's down by Hurst. Ref Phil Bowers says it's Chris Preem's taken up within a metre less than that of the line. And as he's still held up there, swiveled on it, but he couldn't get it down. And I think he's still short. That's exceptionally good by Uppingham. And he's over there. And he's getting it. And we could see there, Fraser Fulton, he could see that clearly from here. And Phil Bowers couldn't quite pick that up, but it was a clear try from here.
He's definitely got that down. I wonder maybe if he was part of the ruck when he put that down, but very, very close call, but exceptionally sharp thinking to use the players around him to create a sort of shield there to get the ball down.
And that's still just short of it, and we're going to see here. He picks it up, comes inside there, and he's there. Ooh. It's over.
You're coming on when they're all tired.
Well, Phil is very happy with it, Mr. Bowers.
He's certainly a far better referee than me.
Yeah, he knows the laws of the land a lot better than we ever will. So to take the lead, to go back 2 points in front. But you can see the wind there. He might need some help.
You can't say that's not deserved, though. Their work in the tight around those Uppingham fringes has been absolutely outstanding from Hurstpierpoint.
And unfortunately, Frederick Longley just pulled it left there, so it stays Hurst 12, Uppingham 12, and we are in the last 7 minutes of the first half.
Been a great first half so far, on as even. They've both got their strengths in different areas, certainly in terms of the way they match up against each other. Seems as though in the tight, Hurst have got the advantage there. But Uppingham, when they get a bit of width on the ball, they look like they can make ground. It's really a case of can they get round that line speed of Hurst.
They're making it's very difficult for Uppingham to settle on the ball.
Let it go, Red.
Once they've got it, like you say, they're just right up in their faces every time.
Play on.
Once again, straight off. They're not getting any time to even reset that ball.
Leave it.
Something that Hurst obviously worked on. And again, they're so flat, so straight on that line that it's very difficult. Very difficult for the runner to pick it up. But Hurst to turn that over, and Uppingham done very well with lots of hands in, lots of rucks there, bringing that back.
You can just see the pressure coming through though every single time the breakdown happens.
We'll kick through now. There's your hooker kicking through, but remember he also kicks the goals and the penalties, so it's not once again it's somebody for everything. 21 on the ball down. Unfortunately we don't have a number for 21. We won't call him anything other than 21. William Owens, that gentle giant, anything but, as he ploughs up through that Hurst defence. Richardson really commanding these troops well. But they got exposed there, and Hurst are up. You can't leave one man, and that is going to be a turnover. Hurst is going to be turnover if they get over it. That's brilliant play there from Henry Duffield, and they've stole it. Oh, and once again, there's the line speed from Uppingham, and not even a chance to catch it and present it.
He's done well to get that back.
Hurst here just need to settle, pull some of the Uppingham players in, and then find the touch And that's exactly what Harrison Casey is going to be doing here. He hasn't gone for touch, he's gone straight down. It's gone straight down to Frederick Longley's rope, and he didn't pick it up as was expected. Look at Hurst, they're very up as a line on that ball. It's not just one winger cutting it down, but they didn't come all the way across the pitch that way. Great play there by William Meadows. He wanted to give the ball, but it wasn't good, and he got it. Got it out, he kept hold of it. Uppingham, they like that left-hand side. They see the pressure, but Hurst have stole it again. I think the first team that's able to keep hold of their own ball is going to be able to start dictating this game.
Well, the pace that each side is putting on it when they get the ball, it's almost leaving them isolated once they get out there and making them slight sitting ducks, but you've got to admire the ambition. Lovely break from Harrison Casey down the left there.
And Hurst again going through the formalities of just taking it up a few, trying to bring those players in, but Uppingham, they're not bending. He's isolated, and that's where the line speed of Hurst has got to be on both sides of the ball. Exceptional. Carlton White, he is up on that line speed as that ball goes, and he is catching, he is tackling, but oh, he's through. Harrison Casey, has he got any support to go with him? Sorry, Sam Hall, giving you the wrong team there. Hurst still going with it.
No hands now.
Chris Preen, not giving anything bad, he just holds onto that ball.
Yes, ball is out. Play on. Ball
It's
is
out.
clear.
The ref's making it very clear that ball is out. And Sam Hall is under lots of pressure, and Uppingham have picked it up, and they fancied going left there again. That's their favoured side.
Really smart work from the hooker, Sam Westmacott there. Using his feet to hook the ball backwards, knowing the law is inside out, knowing that he can use his feet as long as the ball goes backwards.
Clever, these forwards. And there he is again. He's everywhere on that pitch at the moment. And Hurst have got some work to do. And that was unlucky. He went back to the ref, but Hurst have picked it up again. But that's going to be a penalty, holding on.
Bouncing ball, always does for teams a bouncing ball. I'll tell you what though, between Sam Westmacott and Harrison Casey, they are running the show in the last 5 minutes or so for Uppingham. They're really playing well.
So that is the first time in the game, we've gone 33 minutes, the first time that we've had a stoppage or an injury or anything else. And so that shows the pace these lads are playing at.
You can see a few of them sucking it in, can't you?
Just see it here. And he's not releasing. And Uppingham, as they have been all game, all over him.
That's Archie Hogan, the fullback, on the floor as well. You know, we talk about forwards having the skills of backs, but that's backs having the skills of inside forwards as well. Really good skills all around from both the forwards and the backs.
Multi-talented, and there's one of Uppingham's coaches, coached by Nick DeLuca and Fred Wenham. Fred Wenham, a former Cheers mate, cameraman and everything else. So Fred, he's I think we taught him well, and he's gone on to left us completely and gone on to coaching. What does that tell you?
Absolute charlatan.
Great guy, Northern Freddie as he was known. Great guy, and he's doing a great job at Uppingham there with Nick DeLuca. Obviously, it's coming together because they're in the second round of the Champions Trophy.
You know, they really are doing a great job actually. Uppingham Rugby's probably not been at its strongest for the last decade or so, with with the odd exception. And the last 2 years since these two got together and Nick came after his career ended at Wasps, they've really built. Last year they were in the Schools Cup. They got themselves to the 4th round, got knocked out by the eventual finalist Warwick. And this year, best start to a season for as long as we've been doing this job, that's for sure.
And in that void in the middle, well, not that void, that chasm in the middle of the country there, they've got your Stows, you've got your Oakhams, you've got your Rugbys, you've got your Denston. So chance to really, turn that I wouldn't say conference, that little group of Midlands like it is, and it's not straight, and that's Uppingham have lost that straight away. I would say that everybody says that the South East has the stronger, I've forgotten Warwick in there as well, has the strong schedule, but with these teams now, it's kind of like, it's building that way that you've got it in another part of the country.
Yeah, I think it's often a misunderstood point. It's that the southeast is very bunched together. So each the schools at the Champions Trophy end of the game, if you will, they play each other a lot because they're tightly packed. Whereas you move up towards the Midlands and just geographically everyone's spread out more, so everyone has a bit more of a varied fixture list.
Which can only be good. You don't want to be playing the same teams every year, especially if they're beating you. I remember that from my school days. So Hurst, they're not. I think it's because it's a very strong wind blowing down in their face that they can't get the distance, kicking it clear. So they're happy to take it up. They're very confident with the ball in their hands, and we make that time. So Hurst find that touch. No, they don't. And the man they call the gas, Henry Hunt, takes it back up, but it's knocked on, and Hurst have got it back again. Just got to, each of these teams have got to clean it up a little bit. And Hurst again charged down. And so the last action of the game, Henry Hunt, can he make another impact? He has 3 line breaks he's made there, and he's still going. Come on, Hurst, you've got to bring him down.
No hands now, Red.
Nice and steady Uppingham. They've got lots of patience. Richardson chipping through, but it's too much for Hudson. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is half-time. Angus, first 35 minutes. What do we take away from that?
Relentless, wasn't it? End-to-end stuff throughout, and barely a stoppage in the game. The two sides will need their half-time rest. It's an interesting balance to the game. You've got sort of over the course of 35 minutes, I think it's clear to see that Hurst have the upper hand around the fringes, and when they run through the phases in tight, they're making good ground and are looking pretty dangerous. Uppingham though, when they can get the ball wide and they can start to get that offloading game going, they look pretty unstoppable when they get that going. I think they're struggling against the Hurst line speed. There's a lot of space in behind though at times. I think getting the kick through might, risk losing possession, but there's a lot of space there, and it can create a bit of doubt in the minds of that line speed of the Hurst side, who might start coming up slower. From Hurst's point of view, more of the same, I think. Get the ball, keep it tight. They're going to make inroads there.
Well, let's look at that first Hurst try. It came in the very early stages of the game. I think there was hardly a couple of minutes on there, and they were just really tight on that line, and they just kept pushing it, and the forwards were happy to keep it in tight. And there it was. Henry Duffield is the man that is going to be doing the honours.
Smart work from Duffield on that one. Got himself nice and low, saw the gap, and just powered over for it.
And then Uppingham came back at them, and this try down the left wing. There we see again, we were saying about the gentle giant Owens ploughing up through the Hurst players, and it comes out, and I think it's just non-stop. The Hurst is still there on the back foot. You can see there Hurst is calling, he's playing with his hair, but he's calling his players across, and that's exceptionally good hands there from James Chalk, and that was Pip Jackson was away and over in the corner, and that was a well worked try by Uppingham. They converted to take the lead.
It's exactly what we were saying before as well, about they can get the ball going through the hands and get it moving fast, get the offloads in. They're making inroads there, and they've done exactly that there.
And then they build on it again, and we see this was the interception as Hurst were trying to bring the ball out, and there he was sitting there, Henry Hunt, very happy. Thank you very much. As you were saying, Angus, they're coached that way now to look for that.
Yeah, I didn't spot it at the time, but he's read that so early. He's read that pass before the man inside him has even taken the ball. He's already up looking for it, and that comes from the numbers on his inside. He's got 2 men filling that gap, so the drift is there even if he misses it. It's smart play. It's effectively a no-risk play for him.
Here it is again. You can see that as it comes out, just out the corner there. He read it. That was a big gap there. He read it, and over he was. Great play there. And so Uppingham looking like making inroads, and then Hurst came back again with their forwards. And this is where we were debating that well, what we were confirming is we don't know the laws of the game. So it was Fraser Falcon, the 8, I believe this is. We were debating whether it's a 6 or the 8, and there he is. He just reaches over, and they seem happy with that.
So my knowledge of the laws, albeit shaky as it might be, is that you have to be in contact with the back of the ruck, but I could be completely wrong there, let's be honest.
So,
but either way,
there, and he's in the middle. He's in the middle there, look, and he's got 2 players behind him, and he takes it forward.
Going left.
Either way, we are now getting ready for the second half.
Captain, you ready?
And this is the last 35 minutes of the Champions Trophy second round. And Uppingham kick it dead. Sorry, Hurst. They swapped ends and I didn't notice there. That subtle little change.
Yeah, yes.
It's a nervy start to the second half, but actually what that shows you is how strong that wind was in the first half. He's been playing into that for 35 minutes, and it's obviously caught him a bit by surprise having it at his tail.
Okay, 35 minutes go, Angus. Where's your money? Where's your prediction? Not your money, because obviously it's there's kids watching this. We're not allowed to gamble. What's your prediction?
Fine.
I think
Uppingham came and stayed last night. They shouldn't be tired from the journey, so that evens it out.
Cool, you put me on the spot here. I think if their fitness holds out with the line speed they've got and the forward power, Hurst might just nick it.
I'm going to say I think the home advantage will make the difference. So we'll see that. Let's just see if we both get it wrong. So Uppingham pushing there into the Hurst half.
No hands, let it go now, let it go, Red.
Ethan, he threw there. Punching a little hole. There's that line. Well, the line speed's not there, but that line is exceptionally good. Carson White, he's seen a lot of the ball. Archie Hogan up in the line from fullback.
No, lost calls, Red.
You've got to make sure. Going again, he's going to. No, coming blind wasn't an option for him. Coming back inside. Uppingham once again is a steady, patient build-up. It's William Mowins ripped the ball off him. So Hurst, can they do something with this? They've got it out to the wing, but Uppingham, they drifted across very well there. So Hurst ball, crowd is building. The classes are, some of them have finished for the day, and we can start hearing them in the background there, cheering Hurst on, and that was just unfortunate. It didn't go through the hands. Chris Hansen brings it back in. It's well taken there by Hurst. Got a lousy pass from the scrum half, and he picked it up and managed to recycle it, switching it round again. That's great play from the try scorer, Fraser Falcon.
Hunt looking for the interception there again.
Yeah, he
fancies
was
another.
Matthew Bridger wouldn't have been happy with that. Can they trying to get on the outside? He's on the outside and get it out, but that's a great tackle there from Uppingham 13. That's Ethan Henry Drew. He stopped that ball coming out. Once again, Hurst pummeling up through that middle.
Let it go, White.
We're going to call him number 20 because we don't have a name for that, but a great play there. Just making dents in that Uppingham line. Oh, that was kind of like half hospital. It was, there's the ball and there's the tackle. Which one are you going to take? He had one low and one high. But Chris Preen really pushing on now for Hurst. They're into the Uppingham 22. Can they take advantage of this? Good handling. They're being held up. Hurst look like they're going to go through the forwards, considering they're all just gathered round there. They haven't got a line out here for the backs. Henry Duffield now, supported by Fraser Falcon. Is this the time to come out via the backs? Oh, chip over the front. Have they got the legs for it? Have they got the bounce? No, it's picked up. That's Ethan Hodgson. and he's called gas if he gets going. It's good hands holding on there, Archie Hogan, but Uppingham are off. But unfortunately, once again, it just come loose. But Hogan, has he got the legs? Gonna get it? He's got him. Well chased down there. Rory Adams. Can Hurst get back in numbers? Harrison Casey was right out with it. Hurst have got to get back. Have they got the numbers? And I think he's through that gap.
Oh, what a try that is. What
From
a try.
the interception all the way through to the other end, Uppingham are back in front.
End-to-end stuff. I was calling for Hurstpierpoint to kick that in the Uppingham 22. There wasn't much in the way of backfield cover, but how wrong can I be? You've got Ethan Hodgson there, picks it up, makes the break, and then it's that offload game we were talking about in the first half. When they get it going, they are just unstoppable with guys like Archie Hogan going down the left, and it's just brilliant, brilliant rugby, electric stuff.
And he just sees there, and that's 7, that's Christian Totti, and he just goes rolling over there. Ex-Saints. In number 7, Christian Totti. What do we know about Christian? Ex-Saints, pulled himself out. He's full of aggression and energy, and we saw that there because that energy and aggression got him over there.
And you know what? That's exactly his job. Length of the field break. It is hard to be up with that. And you look at who was there with him. It was your 15 and your 11 who've made the break. You've got 9. Harrison Casey gets there right away, and who's there to support your open side? Christian Totti. Exactly what you want from him.
And has he got the extras? Unfortunately not.
Looks like that's his work done as well.
But
Length of the field support line. Score your try. Have a rest.
Can't be bad. That's part of the every player plays a half. They swap them in and out, and you don't have to change all the players at half time, but you can move them in and out, and everybody gets their 35 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Rolling subs. So you know, it's a good way of doing it. Better than being off and stay off.
Sorry, that brilliant play there from Ralph Liebers there, just taking the ball. Unfortunately, he said he knocked on, but that was a great play on it there. So they both go for the ball, they're both in the air, but it goes forward. No, both had their hands on the balls. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. I don't think that was a tackle in the air. Angus?
I think, you know, you got to trust the referee with these things, in particularly at this level.
Absolutely trust the referee. Got to go with that. Just us understanding the laws. And there is the gas himself. And if unfortunately he could have just got that out there. If Ethan could have got that out, then that would have made all the difference. Penalty against.
This is a key part of the game.
Hurst again, and this is Uppingham now putting there.
If Uppingham cross the line again in the next sort of 3-4 minutes, it's a long way back for the home side. Hurst's going to have to work hard here to keep them out, because you can just tell with the way these boys are running now, they're feeling full of confidence. They want to get that offload in. They want to run. Absolutely vital moments now.
So Uppingham push up into this corner, line out.
That mark, yeah.
If I'm Uppingham, I'm going wide. That's where they're getting the success. If they keep it tight here, it might be the correct play in theory, but the advantage they've got is all out wide when they get the ball through their hands. I'd look to go early, test your luck. You can always play through the phases to come back the other way again later. But who knows? We haven't seen them have a go at them all yet.
Right. Well, let's see if is he going to go for a 50-50 ball from the line out or straight through the hands now? He's gone for the line out, so this is their chance to pressure Hurst. They've quietened the crowd.
They're on the edge. You're on the edge of that. You take the gap you want.
You can see the strength of the wind there. He's probably only made 10 yards, but undoubtedly was going for more, but he's had to counter that with the shorter kick because of the wind.
Oh, and Hurst have stolen it at the front. I think that's Lieber's. It is. Ralph Lieber's there taking the ball. It's either him or Henry Duffield. We'll give them both credit.
Both playing well so far.
Both doing a good job. But so that's releasing that pressure. Uppingham had a chance there to really push on. And that's a great tackle there. One low, one high, going for the ball. Hurst done well to recycle that. Both teams, you can see they're getting a little bit tired now. And they're going, that's what you were saying about kicking it and taking it back down, straight down. Archie Hogan. And he's not going to return it with a lot of interest because he's got the wind against him, so he fancies it, but well tackled on the line now. And Hurst are all over that. I think they could be turning this over. They are, and ref's happy with that, was out. Richardson there came in and cleaned it up. We're Uppingham, they've now gone back about 30 yards just because they didn't get that clean ball. And Pip Jackson there, he's trying to recycle, but Hurst are all over it, and Hurst have pushed them off, and they've picked the ball, and that's exactly what you're talking about, Angus, how that play can start bringing them back in.
Yeah, if they keep punching away at the rucks, that's where their power's coming through, and that's what's the plus side for them. If they can keep that sort of play going, they've got every chance in this game.
2 or 3 players in, the numbers are out left. But what Uppingham are very good at is slowing this ball down. Hurst aren't getting any real quick ball. Rory Adams really making the difference in there, and Hurst are getting over that ball quickly. Now it's going to get tight for the forwards, but it's knocked on. That was misread there. Sam Hall didn't see Fraser Falcon straight up on his back.
5, leaving, advantage over.
Advantage is gone. And now they found touch. And this ball's going to return back to Hurst.
Unbelievable ambition again there from Uppingham. Get the ball on their own try line, and what's the first thought they've got? Let's move it wide and let's see if we can go the length.
You see here that the scrum half, just like Fraser just wasn't ready for it, and he's getting all frustrated, and the next thing he knows, Uppingham are ploughing it down the line.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of inaccuracy, maybe not quite enough patience. You know, they've got Uppingham on the back foot. On the other hand, you've got to make it count when you've got it, and you need to get on with it in a hurry before they realign. Tough one there for him.
There's 25 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Hurst to get into this, or Uppingham to pull away. Hurst through those nice little narrow channels, pulling the Uppingham players in. And
away wide.
Sam Hall just letting them continually just play in there. He's not right, and there's the interception again. It's a second Uppingham, he kicks long. That was a good move. I think that was Ethan Hodgson with the interception. I think it was Heath Drury with the interception there. So once again, Heath and Hurst, I think that's one of their better options, is the kick with this wind behind them and push Uppingham back, because their line speed, they are getting up, as you can see there. So they are now playing in the Uppingham half.
They've got to be careful though, because their kick chase has to be perfect, because in any broken phase of play, they're coming under real threat from Uppingham moving the ball. So yes, they've got to move the ball into that space, use the wind, but they've also got to make sure that if they do that, they get connected, they get their line all together, and they put the pressure on. They can't allow the ball to be going through the hands.
And Uppingham making use of the advantage still being played, and it's now, and that unfortunately means we're going back for the penalty.
No advantage, offside.
They may be coming back for a penalty, but I've got to say, Henry Duffield is having an absolute stormer in that sort of scenario. That's the second or third ball he's ripped. He's got a try to his name. He's causing absolute chaos whenever he gets anywhere near the ball when the opposition have it.
He's very impressive.
Just wait for your man there.
And we're just waiting a minute with the little bit of treatment, a couple of substitutes, rolling subs going on, I think.
Good to go. Yeah. Hang on. Time on.
And Phil Bowers has got us back under. And there we go. Angus, as you were saying earlier, let's not worry going for the touch, just ever. Let's run it so we can get it out wide.
Yeah, keep doing what you're good at.
I think Uppingham forwards are up for this now. They fancy a bit of this.
To the tackle. Now it's the tackle. Oh, feet. Let it go, Red.
Forwards fancy this. I think they've just got the upper hand a little bit because they're in defence. They've kept Hurst back all the time, and so their confidence is high.
Keep back clear, boys.
Yeah, you can almost feel it. They look like they believe they've got a shift in momentum, and it's definitely coming through.
Underway tacklers.
Archie Hogan again being the difference in that line, punching through little holes, but that's knocked on by Uppingham, and Hurst have got it back, and advantage is over. It was advantage, and then it was nanoseconds later over. So it shows the line speed and the advantage over, and this is pummeling up. If we ever get that number 20's name, we can tell you how good he is. See out through the hands, and as he got the gas, he's pulled in, and that's a Hurst ball.
First offence, knock on by Red. Then it went into touch. It's a scrum. First offence, knock on by Red.
By Hurst. And so that's a comes back to a Uppingham lot scrum, but I think the Hurst would be quite happy with that, pushing them down in their own half again.
Yeah, got the turnover and got good field position off it. Good hands there again from Duffield. He's really impressing me.
And that was the knock on, and then it looked like it was knocked on, and then Uppingham knocked it out, but the ball went forward from the Hurst winger.
Bind. Set.
Duffield, we've got no notes on Duffield, so he's not an academy player or anything else. Do you think he's slipped through that net?
He might be one tomorrow.
Let's hopefully. They've tuned into this live stream and brought you in today. Cheers Mate Productions bringing you this live stream from Hurstpierpoint College in the heart of the Sussex countryside. You come down from the smoke, Angus, and so nice to get out in the countryside, see some animals.
Very nice, yeah. Didn't know it went beyond rats and foxes.
We have them all down here now. Uppingham trying to push out, and oh, that's well done by Casey going blind, and he's keeping it going, and he's taking it right up to the Hurst 22, and he's got support in there, and he's got him into touch. Touch given. And with all this protocol of high tackles in the World Cup now, everybody was getting a bit touchy about all that there, but there was nothing in that really. He came across to him.
Keep away 13.
I'll tell you what break from Harrison Casey. I saw him at Rosslyn Park Sevens last year, and he was just like that the whole time. He was a real heartbeat at the side. Proper scrum half. And I actually think throughout this game, he's been really the key to how Uppingham are playing. If he gets himself going and he gets buzzing around that scrum, that ruck, they're really dangerous getting on the front foot.
And
if his ball is a bit scrappy, it's a bit more difficult, and that's when they've had trouble. He's the heartbeat in this side, as far as I can tell.
And he's just there, that's Matthew Bridger just pushing him into touch. Tackle well played.
We've had 16. 19, technically. 19, technically. Don't ever argue with him.
Referee Phil Bowers, a regular on the Sussex scene, been doing this a while. He runs some championship touch as well, so he knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing. He keeps these boys in line well.
It's a bit of a legend of the schoolboy rugby refereeing scene. His third game this week already.
He's the man. He's your man. Just like to say a personal thank you, because you lent me some ref mics years ago.
Work that out.
So I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for here. We've got nobody down having treatment from what we can see.
Good to go. Hang on a second.
And no, we're going to go. Time is back on. Hurst win the clean line out with Fraser Falls and closing.
Line out was still live.
And while the line out was still
live, two-handed catch.
Still live and pushing forward, the backs came up and closed that line. So I suppose really that's kind of like an offside for the backs without being near the ball.
It's a let-off for Hurst, that. Oh, but they've not capitalised.
They haven't found touch. And so this is where they're dangerous. And there's Casey again. This is where... I know, that was great play there from great rucking out and clearing out there from Uppingham to make sure that ball did that time come back, and Hurst didn't, line speed didn't nullify their ball. And they're making the gap break again. Great play. Hurst, last minute tackle there to bring them back. I think that was Christian Toddy again there for Uppingham making the difference.
Underway tackler, no hands raised.
And they're going over the top. And at the home there is Frederick Longley. And does he fancy himself? He does. He's bringing it back, not quite towards his forwards, but Hurst is still recycling. They fancy going out the hands. Kick down there. It's Rory Adams, and that's a much better kick. Much better kick. And he's found touch right in the corner there. What an exceptional kick. I think that was Rory Adams there. I'd love to have numbers on the front of their shirts these days, but Rory Adams has just taken Hurst just off their inside their own 22 down to the 5 metre of Uppingham. What were you saying about you kicking and using the wind, Angus?
What a kick that was. I was worried it was going to have so much on it might run dead, but he's angled that absolutely perfectly. Brilliant kick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, you got 6. You got 6, Rick.
This is Hurst's opportunity. 17 minutes to go. This is where they really need to try and steal this ball like they have done a couple of times. But it's cleared up by Uppingham, and that's well played there. That's Henry Robinson. He's the first 11 goalkeeper, should have good hands. He's also the head boy. So there's lots of leaders on that pitch. And Uppingham fancied running it out again. That was Ethan Hodgson on the wing there, but he didn't quite get like last time.
When he comes off that left foot, he's absolutely sparkling on those feet.
And they're like these little gaps that, look, there's nobody at home for Hurst if they come through there again.
Let it go, Ray, hands off.
So it's slowed down for Uppingham now. It's well played, Hurst. But they like the same trick, same up there. That was Henry Robinson. Again, just ploughing through the middle. Angus Jackson clearing out behind him.
Yep.
And offside, and so these players are 10, so they've got the numbers. They can keep ploughing through. Great support by Totti there. And unfortunately that has pushed him and slowed him right down, because Richardson can't do anything with a bouncing ball to get his backs going. Just finds Ethan Heath Jury, and once again they've got to build again.
You've got to admire the ambition of Uppingham, tapping and going when they're in the lead in their own 22, throwing offloads. Unbelievable ambition.
That's Wes McCott doing the business, pushing it up. You can just see them there looking at that maul every time, seeing those little gaps, just looking for it. And there you go. Yeah, there we go. I'll have it. But it's well up by Hurst that time, and that's where they've got to be on this close play, because they're just going on the back foot all the time. At least they fancy it, but I think it's gonna come down the other end. Oh, it's charged down. So once again, great play there by Preen. He's all over the pitch for Hurst. They're keeping them pinned in. It's going to come wide. And I think, Angus, you were saying later, do what you're good, and that's through the hands and out wide.
Absolutely, they look at their best and actually at their most in control when they're happy to move at the full width of the pitch. Just stick to what you're good at. It's working.
No knock on, play out, balls out, balls out.
Balls out, the ref said, and Hurst. That was nice for. Who's that on the ball there? Carlson White. He's got his hands on his balls, waiting, and the next thing is the ref said it's out. And look at that line speed again, Angus. Everything you're talking about is there.
You can tell they went off for a few minutes, but that line speed is flying back up again now. They know this is a key period for them, and if they can get Uppingham under pressure in their own 22, there's a chance for a few rewards.
Stay there, forward, stay there.
And they've cleared it, and they've made some good yards, but this is going to be coming back with a bit of interest. Matthew Bridger, hopefully, he's past one. He needs the support. There's Archie Hogan. I think it's Archie Hogan's all over him there. But, so they just want more hands there, make that gap and play it. They had the numbers, he's keeping them going. Chris Hansen on that line now. The line speed there. I mean, Sam Hall had no time to do anything with that ball, and Uppingham were all over him and just ripped it off him.
Casey again with that hit round the fringe. He really is just absolutely buzzing around that breakdown.
Do you know, I've got a note down here that says brave player. He's more than brave. He's brave heart. They're bringing it back. Hurst got to recycle that ball. And Uppingham, and that's a good recycle, a pick up and straight over the top, pushing that line speed from Archie Hogan, making all the difference now. This is the momentum that Hurst are looking for. They've got to keep it rolling. Come on, Frederick Longley there. He's just kind of like, you know, just probably should have come on the inside shoulder and kept it back to where the Hurst strength is. This is where the fitness is going to make the difference.
Let it go wide.
Hurst have got to get over that ball. He's missing a boot, that player there. And once again, the ball comes back really slowly. Uppingham are very good at making sure this ball comes back slowly. And there's a good offload. And is he going to, with one hand off, is he going to get there?
What a tackle.
Ralph Levers is nearly there. His brother was a second row here 3 years ago. Did his brother at that pace? And
got to his feet, perfect steal. Scrum.
And that ball wasn't coming out. And
perfect steal. Scrum, White.
So the skipper, James Chalk, with a turnover. Unbelievable work on the deck there from him. And Archie Hogan to manage to get that tackle.
Archie Hogan is everywhere. For a fullback, he's everywhere. He's up on the first in the line speed where you expect the flankers to be. He's picking up what's left. He's everywhere.
He's absolutely flying, isn't he? He's enjoying himself out there. But that was a try-saving tackle on a man twice his size. Really, he's grabbed a hold of anything he could. I think he got him by the wrist or something there to get him down. But he's got him down, and that's all that counts.
So we're just.
Good to go, boys.
Yeah. Let's go, boys, and pick it up.
Bit of energy now, boys. Bit of energy. Second. 8 ping. Time on.
So we're back. Now this is where Hurst have got to put the pressure on.
Bind. Set.
Crowd building here, and the pressure was all by Hurst there, but to reset, we're going to, and it had gone round according to Mr. Bowers. It had gone round, so it's still Uppingham ball, but they're on their 5 metre line here, struggling to keep Hurst at bay.
Here we go, boys, here we go.
So Phil Bowers is going to pop round the other side and keep an eye on this.
Bind. Set.
It's moving back and
He
forth.
can't put it in.
Interesting one, this, Angus. Is this them pushing too early, a bit too keen?
I think Hurst know they've got the advantage in the scrum, and they're just wanting to have a go. But they're not being penalised, so they're playing it the right way at the moment.
Look at the crowd building there. school's empty and coming out here to support the first 15. Can they help him through this last 10 minutes? Right, the ball's in now. Hurst have got the push on it, but Uppingham have got it out well, and Casey's clearing it all up. They're not looking to kick. They're happy to try and run it and create the numbers. But now Hurst have got to be able to keep that line speed and keep them back there. Keep them back there. Make sure nobody breaks that line, and then I think they can get the turnover, which they've been very good at so far. It's great play there by Heath Drury. Just hangs onto the ball and keeps pumping his legs, and that ball comes up. It's going to be coming out wide now. And that, it's gone, no, it hasn't gone out. It's come back, but Hurst have picked it up.
Get the wind on that.
This is Hurst's chance. They're looking a bit tired there, actually. They need something from the legs. Can he go in there? Chris Hansen, has he got the legs? Come on, back yourself, back yourself. Great line speed from Hurst again.
Let it go, White. See that?
Uppingham doing really well, keeping them off there, but they've gone through the hands.
Oh, they've done so well to stop that. Hurst almost certain try there.
They're right on the line, they're pushing up, they're going for the base of the try. That's held up, we can see that in the middle there, but can Hurst get it back? Bowers is on his knees there, looking at what's happening, and that is a 7-point try, because that right in front of the posts. He was happy with that, he saw it straight away.
More of the same from Hurstpierpoint. When they get around that try line, they just bash and bash and bash away, and they make the inroads again.
So here we see it here. Great play by Uppingham. But Hurst have got it through. You can see it's held up there. We can see that, and then for some reason, somehow, it's come off the side of his. He's picked up there, and he's gone over the top. He's gone over the top. Let's see who that is. We know he's got red tape on his legs. And there we go. They pulled his number so we didn't see it. But great play there by Hurst in the end.
Smart thinking as well.
The
player was held up over the line, but the ball hadn't crossed the line yet. It's just resting on his stomach, and he just picks it up and dots it down. Smart play.
So, 7 minutes for Uppingham to make this long journey down here worthwhile.
I lose count of the number of Champions Trophy games that come down to a couple of points with a couple of minutes to go. It seems as though it's 90% of them every single year.
So here we go again. So Hurst have just got to keep them out for these last 5 minutes, and I think that's out of their half would be a good way of doing it, and that's a penalty.
Through on the receiver. You went through on the number 9.
So that was Hurst coming round and coming through, in at the side as we would call that previously.
Yeah, coming through and playing the scrum half.
So this is Uppingham's chance to push through now and make what would, I'm not going to say the winning, but the last 5 minutes, make it happen.
Yeah, and you think they've probably got to score a try, and because unless it's right in front of the post, it's going to be a tough penalty chance with that wind blowing right into the face. So they need that 4th try.
So this is Uppingham. This is their chance to try and make this trip, as I say, worthwhile. But this is where Hurst and the crowd have really got to come together. Down on this near side, the crowd is built, and they've ripped it off them. And Hurst have just gone for touch to relieve that pressure. And our camera guys nearly caught the ball as well.
That is an outstanding bit of defensive play there. That's the sort of thing that can win yourself a game.
So halfway between the 22 and the halfway line. And you see the crowd, both sides now building up nicely. This is a great atmosphere for a school game. What more could you ask for? But Uppingham, they've got to win this clean ball, and then I think they've got to go back to their backs, because that's the answer for everything.
Yeah, they play a high-risk strategy with the offloads, but that's what's going to win them this game if they're going to do it. So they've got to keep it going. They've got to risk losing it to win it, basically.
Because they know they're tight. That's where the danger is, when Hogan comes through like that.
Cross the chest.
What's penalty against Hurst? High tackle.
This is what I was talking about before. Going for the post is the usual go-to option here, but with this wind, it's a 50-50 shot.
And they've decided to go for the posts. They've decided to go for the posts in this win. That's a big call.
Well, as long as he gets it dead, it's a 22 restart, and they get the ball back in effect. So as long as he gets a strong enough boot on it, he's either putting his side in front or he's giving his side of the ball back.
And this is Sam Westmacott, Tigers Academy. He recently moved to hooker, so let's just hope he used to be in the backs, and he's dead handy with these with the kicking boots. And here we go, because this will give Hurst just about 2 minutes to get back into the game. And here he goes. And is it there? It is.
How about that? What a kick from Sam
They have
Westmacott.
now, Hurst, according to us, have got 2 and a smidgen minute to get back in, and they've gone quick. And can they retrieve this? They've just got to get that ball. They need one more opportunity. And Uppingham have just got to hold on now. Just got to hold on and not turn over that ball. And Hurst and that line speed are going to be all over them. Just got to keep their heads up. The crowd's out. It's big.
Far side, blue hat.
Now Uppingham are playing that nice, slow game. Now, they haven't played like this for the whole game, so let's say they've got this in their locker. Do they think they can last another minute and a half like this?
This is where communication is key between each other, but also between the scrum half and the referee. He needs to be knowing exactly how long he's got left to play with.
Far side.
All day. Nice. Yes, Henry. Yes, Henry.
And they're doing an exceptionally good job of this. These forwards are now earning their money, earning the corn. Made the reason for the trip very, very worthwhile.
Let it go, Ray.
And that's a minute they've now taken up with this. And I think this is a 9th phase.
Arrive up 3.
Unbelievably impressive play. They've not done this all game. They've been really outpowered in the forwards, and here they are just controlled, calm. They've actually made ground. Not that they need to in this scenario, but they're showing that they can play that other side of the game.
45 seconds.
So we're running into the last 30 seconds of the game. Just heard the ref say 45 seconds to go. So Uppingham know what they're doing here. Just got to keep a hold of that ball. I think if I was Hurst, I'd let one of them just go, try and release that ball a little bit from there.
It's a difficult one.
Hands away!
Time has gone. And that is victory exactly as you and me said, Angus.
The ruck and fall before you got there.
Uppingham School 20 have come to Hurstpierpoint, and in the last 2 minutes of the game, they have stolen the game from them. And those forwards have earned their corn big time. 2.5 minutes at the end there, they just ploughed away at it. Impressive stuff.
Absolutely. I'm prepared to go out on a limb and say that that is Uppingham's most impressive win in 10 years. They've got themselves through to the quarterfinals of the Champions Trophy, further than they've ever been before. It's their first ever win in the Champions Trophy. They have put themselves on the map in a big way. They're down to the last 8 alongside their old rivals Oakham. Unbelievable composure at the end. Brilliant from Sam Westmacott to get that kick in difficult conditions, and then unbelievable control for 2 minutes at the end there.
It was great. It was great. But I think Hurst were. Do you know? I think as the away team and the way it worked, I mean, Uppingham probably just deserved it at the end. But Hurst were in this game the whole way, and really, you know, if it had ended in a draw, which we can't in the cup game, that wouldn't have been, you know, wrong either.
No, absolutely. They were seriously impressive throughout the game. Their forward pack particularly were exceptional, and you know the very fact that we kept mentioning the likes of Henry Duffield over and over again was because of the sheer work of their forward pack. But ultimately, it came down to probably the side with the more ambition, ball in hand, just about was the side that came out on top, and the way the game is, you'd say that means it's the right result. You want to see ambition, you want to see teams throwing it around, and the team that did that best won.
And let's see a little bit of that. They Uppingham, how they did it in the second half here. So they were the first with this was the long Archie Hogan run, and this is where I think it was. They just came in, and Hurst didn't have the numbers back here. They didn't have the numbers, and Christian Totti there, you can see him 7 there, just comes in, he sees it and thinks, you know what, I'm getting over there, and he came in on the shoulder and just pushed through. And unfortunate there for Ralph Liebers, because basically he had 2 guys coming in on him.
You really won't see many better tries than that in school rugby, because although we've seen the end part of that actually started pretty much on their own try line, tidying up a kick, and they've gone the length of the field, 3 or 4 offloads in there. Eventually you've got Hogan who makes the long break, and then it's just great support play, great determination and power and a bit of aggression to get themselves over the line. Brilliant try.
And then Hurst came back, and it looked like that Hurst were going to kind of like just nudge in front, and this is the try that, you know, we can see he's held up, and then he rolls over and he's in, and our complete lack of knowledge of the real laws of the game means that we can't really tell you the reasons, but he's then just over there, and there he is. He just reaches over and puts it in, and that is a good try.
It's a really smart bit of play. It's also exactly what they did well all game. Round the fringes, that powerful pack, really making ground and just being tidy around there and getting over. And it's smart play. He's spotted that the ball itself hasn't crossed the line. He's picked it up and dotted it down.
And that is the story of the game. A last-minute penalty from Sam Westmacott takes Uppingham home. And the draw tomorrow. So, Angus, the draw is tomorrow?
Tomorrow, midday. There's the draw will be live on Twitter. I think England Rugby will be doing it on Periscope there, and 8 teams in there. Uppingham joining the other 7 that got there earlier in the day, and we're going to have 4 cracking games in the first week after half term.
We certainly are. A great end of this Champions Trophy, and so a big thank you for Hurstpierpoint College for inviting us down here today and bringing you live and to seeing Uppingham from the Midlands edging out 20 points to 19. Hurstpierpoint College. Thanks for watching. See you in the next round.